And Metrolink has recently done a study on the effects of climate change on Metrolink's system-wide infrastructures and facilities. And they have identified three main causes of main effects of climate change on its system, and then some ways to identify how to potentially mitigate those effects. The first one being sea level rise affecting coastal stretches of track in Orange County and San Diego counties. And we are obviously seeing that with the stretch of track in South Orange County and San Diego still being closed because of the effects of sea level rise and storms on the tracks down there. They also identified flooding vulnerability near the tracks in Redlands, Burbank, and Paris areas. And then extreme heat is the other major cause that they found, major effect that they found to the system in the future, where large portions of the system are likely to experience frequent conditions requiring speed restrictions. So the tracks get too hot and the trains need to slow their speed, which is obviously going to cause trains to be late more often and time delays and all of that. Metrolink has put a plan in place to try to make Metrolink's system resilient to this climate change. For flooding, they are installing swales along the flood-prone track. They're like drainage along the track to direct water away from the track bed. For extreme heat, they are replacing tiles, wood tiles with concrete to help with resistance to movement and chances of thermal misalignment from that heat. And then also adding station amenities like air conditioning, fans, coverings along the parking lots for commuters. Another way they're helping to mitigate flooding is to add permeable pavers instead of concrete on the parking lots so that the water can drain through to the ground instead of sitting on top of those concrete parking lots so that the water doesn't stay there and flood more. They are also mitigating sea level rise by constructing improved revetments that are impact resistant materials to absorb the energy of incoming water and like waves coming up on the bank there, on the shore there, and protecting from erosion. And then supporting nourishment projects and restoration to slow beach erosion and reduce front up. And here's a couple of stats for you on the ways that Metrolink is trying to reduce their own carbon footprint. Metrolink is 100% powered by renewable fuel. Their trains run on recycled natural oils that reduce emissions and improve air quality. Metrolink is the first in California to use Tier 4 locomotives that reduce emissions up to 85%. 9.3 million weekday trips reduced have been reduced because of people taking the train to work and other well, this is weekday trips, so mostly taking the train for work. Generally speaking, they've reduced their greenhouse emissions by 15%, diesel use by 14%, and their fleet emissions like support vehicles and such by 26%. And then less idling trains have reduced burning fuel by 35 to 50% by reducing the amount of idling trains. OCTA also has a strategy for becoming 100% zero emissions by 2040. That includes running OC buses on clean burning renewable compressed natural gas that's safer than gasoline and diesel because it's not toxic and does not contaminate the groundwater. They are also currently conducting a pilot program of 10 hydrogen and 10 electric buses to determine the technology or mix of technology that will bring cleaner air to Orange County. As far as hydrogen fuel, they have the nation's largest hydrogen fueling station. And it's the first large transit agency in Southern California to operate a hydrogen fuel cell bus. A couple of other methods OCTA is utilizing is reducing the particulate matter. That's the, the tire dust, the soot, the dirt, and the smog and smoke by 97%. And nitrous oxide emissions by 99%. That's compared to their 2002 emission levels. And you can find this information on OCTA's website and their environmental sustainability page as well. And that is a little bit about the state of the emission output of our local transit agencies and just in general in the country, and what they are doing to mitigate